many of you can. Vinny, first two.
Jurgen, before we talk about tomorrow's game, can we just check the latest as regards possible outgoings? I'm just thinking Besiktas in talks for Simon, Palace linked with Ings, and Markovic, Olympiacos and Standard Liège in talks.
What's my part now?
I'm just wondering, can you bring us up to speed with exactly what the situations are with respect to those three players then?
Nothing, no news, nothing done, nothing decided. So.
Sorry, boss, hang on. You can't hear the back? Which microphone? This one?
Is this the microphone?
This one here? Good?
Oh, come on, keep it.
No, absolutely not. Sorry, Vinny.
Good, okay. So, yeah, nothing to say about because nothing decided, not only with these three, but I didn't even remember the names, to be honest. So it's ongoing business and we will see what happens in the next 2 weeks, that's all.
With respect to this game then, in the biggest stadium in America, up to 100,000 people expected, it's a pre-season friendly, what do you make of it all?
Yeah, that's a really nice story. So that we come here, we usually don't have the opportunity to play in what is the second biggest stadium in the world. So especially when it's America, it's quite. I can imagine people like it. It's an impressive building. All what I saw from outside, I'm looking forward to go inside and have another look. So yeah, it's cool, but it's pre-season. But it's as well United against Liverpool, Liverpool against United. So. Big game. People obviously in America were waiting for that game, or at least 100,000 people were waiting for that, and so really looking forward to it. It's good.
Okay, go to Simon Stone from the BBC.
Jurgen, you were mentioning about you've got a bit of time with transfers. You've obviously brought players in. The decision to move the transfer window in England, has that created a bit of an issue for managers? Does that make you wonder what to do? Because clearly you've got 3 weeks after you can buy players where you could sell players.
Yeah, to other countries. Yeah, true. But it's. I think the idea in general was good, and then we did it, and nobody else pretty much did it. And then we did it in the year when the World Cup is coming. So it means the boys coming back 3 days before the transfer window is closing. So that's, yeah, not perfect, let me say it like this. But that it ends earlier. I like it, really. And we did our business pretty early, at least parts of it. And but yeah, it's not perfect this year, but I think in the next few years maybe other countries will adapt or we adapt again. I don't know exactly how it will work. So it's strange. So in other countries, the clubs are waiting a little bit. In England, nobody can wait because in 12 days or 13 days it's closed. Yeah, it's not perfect. How's that?
Just in terms of this game, Jose has said that people should demand that you win trophies. Jose likes talking about you, it seems.
It's not easy to reach that point. So, but yeah. What can I say about that? It's Jose can say what he wants to say. To be honest, that's how it is. And obviously, I can do the same. But I'm not too much interested in Manchester United, honestly. So that's maybe one point, and I'm pretty sure they will do business as well in the next few days. So that's it. But apart from that, we know about our responsibility. But we feel only responsible for our fans, for our owners, for the supporters all over the world. Nobody else apart from that. So that's the situation, and that we are ambitious. We never said something different, and that we have to deliver. We know that. What that means exactly, I don't know in the moment. We will see that. But I think a big part of the job is to play football that our people like, and that happened last year, probably happened the year before as well. And so now we are in a situation where we want to make the next step, but the opponents don't sleep, and that we know that. So that means our life is not easier only because we brought a few players in. We only feel a little bit better prepared again than last year, and that's all.
Okay, we'll go to Fad from the Michigan Daily, or Michigan Daily, sorry.
Hi, Jurgen. What's your assessment on the way the defense has played so far this preseason?
Could be better, could have been better, that's clear, but it depends to we played in plenty of different formations, so it's not about that, but in the session today we will work on defense, for example. Even in the open session we don't have time to, or no, we cannot waste time. We need all sessions, and that's why we do things like that, but they did well, so it's not too bad. Against Dortmund, because we conceded, we're counter-attacking kind of, don't remember, in other games, we conceded a few, but it's not about that. We know how we have to defend, and we will work on that for sure, but it's not that I make step-by-step assessments. It's like this, we played with wingers as fullbacks and stuff like that, so it's not, we had not to, since today we never had a fixed lineup that we can say, okay, we work with them all the time. So that's it. That's preseason. But we know about our issues, so we will work on that.
Okay, and since you haven't really had a fixed lineup, do you kind of know what your starting fullbacks are going to be next year, especially between Trent and Klein?
And Joe.
Yeah.
And Rafa Camacho.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to decide that early, thank God. A lot of good fullbacks. It's a perfect situation for a manager, so I'm happy about that. No, they all will probably play from time to time, and if somebody's in very good shape, then he will play more often. That's the plan.
Okay, we'll go to the back of the room, and Glenn, I'll come to you before the end, Jake, if that's okay, but we'll just go around the room. Go to Glenn Price from ESPN. There we are.
Hey Jurgen, Navi's set to miss today's training session. Is he out for the game tomorrow?
Probably. It's really only a stiff neck, but the 8 hours in the plane with air conditioning and not, it was quite comfortable, but obviously not comfortable enough for him. So since then it's getting better. Absolutely. If he will not train today, but then what will happen until tomorrow? We have another session tomorrow morning, so we will see. If somebody tells me overnight it's now perfect, then we will use him. But that's don't have to make. I don't know it in a moment. That's all. But it's not serious. It's only we all had a stiff neck. Sometimes it's gone overnight, and sometimes not. So in this case, obviously, not.
Paul, anything from you with the moving at the back? No, sorry, take the microphone, Paul. Take the microphone first.
Yeah. Nathaniel Klein's gone home. Is that because they've had another baby? Is that true?
Did you say another baby?
Well, a baby.
I didn't know about the others, but maybe he doesn't know. Sorry. Because of the baby. His son. So he was very, very proud. They had exchanged messages, so I saw a picture. Nice. Little Kleiny's there.
You get him doing some jogging while he's back home?
Yeah, but I think the baby keeps him busy for the next 2 days, so and then he will start training again. So that's all good. There are, even if we can't believe it, there are more important things in life than football. Wow, and babies are definitely more important. So it's nice for him. So next level for him.
Gentleman with the camera, and then we'll come down the room. There we are. Yeah, thank you. Right, Fox.
I know you addressed this a little bit before, but have you walked into the stadium yet? And when you did, what were your? Oh, okay, so what do you
Sorry,
think?
I came directly in this room. Impressive. The biggest press room in the world.
And I guess, have you seen pictures of it? What are you expecting when you first walk out there and see the bowl of the stadium?
I know I didn't see pictures of it, to be honest. Yes, when we planned the preseason and we knew then where we will play, then I saw one picture, but that's from. It was not that big on the picture, to be honest. So, I'm looking forward to it. So I can go in, and then afterwards I know more, but I cannot say anything about that now.
We come to the front, gentleman with the blue T-shirt.
Ryan Zuger, Live.com. How big of a role do you think this International Champions Cup plays in growing the game of soccer in America?
You know probably more about that than I could know, but it's if you bring together 100,000 people to watch a football game, then that says a lot. And I don't think that they all flew in from Europe. They probably are mostly from America, and that's just a good sign. So I love that game since I'm 3-4 years old. So I would understand if soccer could make the next step in America. So, but these other traditional sports. Was yesterday first time in my life I saw a baseball game. So at Boston, a sold out stadium, and yeah, that's a different game to soccer or to football, and people love it. So they have the other sports, but I think the country is big enough to for football as well, for European football, and so I like it, but the tournament means for that, I don't know 100%. But so far, the atmospheres were all really good, especially with my club. It's quite impressive wherever we go. Our supporters are already there, so that's really nice. So from this point of view, for us, it's very important. We are probably not. It's not a commercial for football. It's more a show up for our supporters abroad, and that's what we really like to do. Last year, we flew to Sydney for kind of 15 hours at Sydney, playing a game, and went home. So, and that was a really good atmosphere as well. So this club is so big that we could go wherever in the world and find Liverpool supporters. That's really nice. You cannot force people to love football. If they do, they do. If not, then not. So there are meanwhile a few really big stars in MLS, obviously Zlatan, Schweini, a few more. That's Wayne. That's good for football here probably. But if the kids don't play it, so if that's always a problem. If you share it with all the few, you lose a few to baseball, you lose a few to American football, you lose a few, especially the taller ones, to basketball, ice hockey, whatever, wherever you are raised, and then. Yeah, we need to have a few for football. So that's how it is. The game is worth it. It's worth it for sure. But the Americans must decide that by themselves.
We'll go to Jacob. Are they happy? Okay, we'll go to Alex on the front here, if that's okay. Thank you.
Jurgen, you've had about a month now with the squad. Your changes in goals and objectives from game to game, are they more about the upcoming opposition or more about where you guys are in your preseason schedule?
More about that. More a second. It's all about preseason is especially in the early stages, and when a lot of players are still not in yet, then it's more about it's a physical point of view. So you have to make these boys fit. That's how it is, and. The problem is with that, we have still games in that period, so it means we play out of full training, if you want. So we do today more than we usually would do, match day minus one. We do tomorrow morning more than we would do usually at a match day. And then we play a football game, and it's then the whole world watches it, and you say, oh, that's all what they are able to do. Yeah, in the moment. That's how it is. So, but we need to prepare for a full season, for a long season. And that's the job to do. But step by step, the boys are coming back, which is good. And then our preseason, in these times, preseason always goes into the season, actually. We cannot start the week before West Ham doing only things like we would usually do in the middle of the season. So that's normal. That's a job to do. But we know a lot. We know meanwhile a lot about the different stages and levels of the players, and so we try to use them in the best possible way. But if somebody has a little issue in a season, you say, come on, you still have to play. In a preseason, you say, okay, no risk. And then you play 2 days or 3 days later. So that's how it is. But it's always like this, that players show up, which we would not expect maybe. We have had a few of these really positive signs during the preseason. Others, more settled players, suffer a lot from the training, and then it's a very important period. But for the players, a very difficult period as well, because they have to do really hard sessions and play football, and that in public. So it's not that we hide ourselves in parks or something like that. We are nearly constantly on television and stuff. That's then not too nice, but they should be used to it. I'm used to it. I still don't like it, but I'm used to it. So we have another 2 weeks roundabout until the season starts, and we will use that, and then we will have much fresher legs than we have today.
Okay, Matt, have you got one? This will be the last question unless someone wants to catch my eye. We'll close the press conference after this. Unless someone would.
That's usually easy to catch his eye.
Go on, Matt.
Sturridge just commented about the culture and the banter in the club and how it feels like home. How have you seen that evolve over the preseason? How important is it to have a tight-knit group as far as success goes?
Very important, very, very important. We are a different group to last year. Of course, we had a big part of our, if you want to call it success last year, then was because we were an outstanding good group. So, but then there are always changes. New players come in, young players come in, that can change the situation for each individual in the squad. And it's a job to come as close as possible together as soon as possible. If you're successful, then it's easy to be a group, but if you start something, you need to be the group before you are successful. And that's what we are working on constantly. So I visited our owners yesterday in Boston, so when the boys had a half a day off in New York, so I was not with them to ask them how it was for bonding, the shopping tour. Sorry, and that's it. But that's a big part of preseason, of course. We have on the tour it's a little bit difficult because we have really different things to do. We have appearances a lot and these things. But next week, when we are in our camp in Evian in France, then there's nothing else to do apart from football. So, and that's my week then, if you want, and that will help a lot, 100%. And more players back. Bobby Firmino back then, Alisson coming, Shaqiri then in proper training, and so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, guys. Instead of bringing the players to the press conference, we'll probably do 2 players post-training session. We'll gather everyone together behind one of the goals. I think is either goal for the training. So
now proceeding after the guys will exit out of this door. Walk on the right side of that stanchion down to the field, and then please just pick either behind the LED boards on either end line. Okay.
Guys.